Hello, welcome. I am Till the Hoppersquatch, and today I'm going to be showing you how I get around town and to and from. And I also want to show you a bit on how to get it started and how to get it going. Anyway, let's go. Well, welcome back. This is what I call the green machine. This is how I get around and do things. But some of you may not know or may not have any experience with a motorcycle. So I'm going to show you how it's done, what all the gears and levers and buttons do, and any of the interactions that you may have with it. This is just to get it started. This is not any skills or any advanced training or even any basic training. It's just to get it started, what all the buttons do and what they all mean. Right, let's take a look. So, right here on the right-hand side, you got your front brake. This controls the brake in the front wheel. And also, you've got your back brake right here. This is a foot peg. You can stand on this and rest on it while you're driving, riding. There's one of these on either side of the bike. And now let's take a look. Okay. And right here, again on your right hand side still, this is your throttle. You pull this back to give it the juice. This is how you're going to go faster. And this little red switch is your kill switch to your engine. So if it's off, you can't even start the bike. And if you need to stop it in a pinch, you just click this up. And then you pull this down, and that's how you initiate power to get it to go. So your kill switch here, all right, and then keep going down here. Now, just all of these gadgets I added myself. This power switch here gives power to a portable charger, much like you'd have in a car for your USB devices or whatever. Yes, there we go. Anyway, enough of that. You gotta have a dash cam. Again, I just added these. These aren't necessarily standard cell phone mount. Now, we got the gas can here. This is where you're going to fill it up. This whole thing here is your gas. Mine's got a lock because people are just not so honest these days. All right. And moving down here, you're going to get your exhaust pipe. The reason I'm pointing this one out, you're not going to have much interaction, but when you've been riding for any amount of time, don't touch it for at least 15 minutes. I would suggest a lot longer than that. It gets hot. I could cook an egg on there, no problem. Right, all right, moving up, you obviously got your seat. I use a cargo crate here, but normally this is a second seat for a passenger. I believe the term is like pillion riding. And here you have the foot pegs for the pillion rider, similar to your own foot pegs. They can put any amount of weight on there, hopefully. Hopefully. But then that's where they rest their feet. They normally will sit where the crate is. So I did show you the right side. Now let's take a look at the other side on the left. Unlike the right side, this handlebar doesn't move on this one. This is just for holding and for gripping the bike and for steering, which you still should be able to do on the right side. But again, that one controls the gas and the throttle. And this one is just for holding. So here you're going to have your switch for high beams and low beams. And these are your left and turn blinkers, left and right turners, and your horn, of course. It doesn't do anything when there's no power, but you should know about the blinker. It's not like a car where when you turn and then you straighten it and it figures itself out. Just remember, you push it in to stop the indicator. If you don't, you'll be looking foolish driving down the road and doing your right or left hand blinker for miles on end, who knows. So just keep in mind when you're done with your turn, push that in. And yeah, so you got your, make sure to adjust your mirrors, and obviously those are pretty obvious. Now we got our indicators here. If this blue light is lit up right there, you'll notice, then that means your high beams are on. So just flick them on and then flick them off. So you have your neutral light, and this indicates if your clutch is engaged. If it's not engaged, this will actually be lit up, which is actually important to note. This has to be lit up for you to start your bike. So again, I'll get on and show you how it all works together. Okay, let's take a look at the left side here. Unlike the right side, this is not a brake. This does not control the brake. This controls your clutch. You got to click it up and click it down. When you go all the way down, it's in first gear. Oddly enough, you go into neutral when you push it up, and then seconds. I don't know why neutral's in there. I'm not a mechanic. I just ride the dang thing. But honestly, so they call it one up, one down, four up. That's kind of the mechanics of it. This is pretty standard. Anyway, you go down first gear, then you put your foot under and you kick it up. Neutral, second, third, and fourth, finally fourth gear. All right. And so this is the left clutch. Again, this does not control the front brake. That one on the right controls the front brake. Right, so this is your clutch. Now, you need to hold this in to shift the gears. If you don't hold it in, you won't be able to shift the gears. It will just be stiff. But there's something else important to note. How hard you squeeze this actually matters. It's not just on and off, on and off. It doesn't work that way. The more you pull, the less power you'll have to your engine. And also, you're going to want to control that when you're turning, and there's some advanced skills I won't get into, but they call that the friction zone. So just remember, squeeze it in all the way to disengage, and then you can clutch. You can do 3/4, 1/4, half, whatever, to determine how much power you have to give you more control of the bike. That's the friction zone. Just keep that one in mind. That's for a later time. Anyway, now that we know what's going on here on the left side, we know what all the dials are for the right side. And I did mention you got to be in neutral to start it. You got to have your kill switch off. I don't know if it's off and on, but you got to have it down. At least on my bike, I don't know if it's off and on. But click it on, and finally, you got to have your keys in the ignition. So let's take a look how to start it, and we'll take it from there. Okay, we're going to start her up, put all the pieces together, and see what happens. Just remember, this is for the ignition. This is not for the seat. The seats are back here. Just be careful. So the first thing you got to do is give it some power. This lets the battery engage to the engine, or to the ignition. So when we pull the trigger, it will. When we pull the ignition, it will then be able to fire the bike up. Now the second thing is you got to be in neutral, and remember, you got to pull this in to allow us to kick this up, and that's going to put the bike in neutral, allowing me to get ready to start it. Come take a look at the indicator. As you can see right here, it is in neutral. Oh, I'm going to get gas. It's a shame. But anyway, now that we have our neutral indicator, we are now ready to throw the kill switch on here. And this indicates, without the X, that the engine is ready to go. So we have it in neutral. We then have the kill switch on, and now we're ready to turn it on. That is what this button here does. This is our power to the bike. So once everything is checked and ready to go, I just flip the switch. I always forgot to mention one of the most important pieces. This is your kickstand. This doesn't just hold the bike up when you're not riding it. It also needs to be up when you turn the bike on. If you kick the stand down, it might as well be the kill switch. It will turn your bike off. I can't turn it on when it's down. So you definitely need to know that as well. So let's go ahead and start her up. Right, this is a real quick checklist. It's in neutral. We've got power to the ignition. Kill switch is ready. And all I'm gonna do now is lean the bike up like this. I'm gonna hold down my right brake so I don't go drifting, because it's in neutral, so it's gonna be free going. But anyway, now I'm going to fire it up with this switch right here. And that's about it. Now that we know how all the buttons and gears and stuff work, at least what the rider has to interact with, I'm now going to go through all the motions really quickly, and but always remember to wear all of your gear all of the time. I don't care if you're doing stunts, or if it's cold, or if it's hot, or if it's not raining. You just want to be safe. A friend of mine once said, think about a car and how fast you're going, and then jump out of the car at that speed. That is how fast you'll be on your bike, and what will happen if you were to hit the ground. So it's just a good way to think about it. I never mess around. Always a helmet. I got I'm in my jacket, and good boots, good clothing, good pants. So just do the gear all the time. Very important. So let's get geared up here, and we'll start her up and go around. Right, now we've got all of our gear. Saved me noggin, and got all my armor ready for a dive. Pray that doesn't happen. Let's go ahead, hit all the levers, hit all the marks, start her up and go. Turn the tape, check. Hit the brake. If the kickstand, check. Go into neutral, check. Kill switch, check. Power. taking veterans seriously?